Alright, so now we should know how to find the area of a parallelogram, a rectangle, and a triangle. What we are going to do next is put all of that information together to talk about composite shapes. Now, composite shapes are simply different shapes when we put together, we can get an area of the entire figure. So you might see a robot or a Martian-like character in the front of my room. We can add the area of all of those different shapes up and get the area of the entire figure. So that is what we will be working on for the next couple of days. To start out, first thing we have to do first is find the area of a rectangle, do some review here. So I know the area of a rectangle is length times width, or L times W. So area, my length here is 16 feet, times my width, which is 4 feet. So my area here is 16 times 4, which is 64 feet squared. Don't forget that unit. Okay, moving on up. We have the area of a triangle. Area of a triangle, base, or B, times height, or H, divided by 2. Okay, well I have a base and a height here, so that's good. My base is 10 inches times a height of 12 inches. Don't forget about dividing that by 2, because if I put 2 of these together, I get a parallelogram, or a rectangle. So it's half of a rectangle, or half of a parallelogram. Okay, so 10 times 12 is 120, divided by 2. So my area for the triangle is 60 inches squared. Okay, that should be a review. Turn the page. Now what we're going to do is find the area of composite figures. So a composite figure is a figure made of 2 or more dimensional figures. You'll see here we have a rectangle right here and another rectangle right here, made up of 2 or more shapes. So our goal here, or first step in finding the area of these, is to break the figure into smaller parts. You could go this way, you could go this way. For this one, you just want to pick one way though. That's going to work. I'm going to go like that. So now I have a triangle, or I'm sorry, it looks like a square here, and then I have a rectangle here. Okay, 2 different shapes, but guess what? I know how to individually or separately find the area of this and the area of that. So to find the area of the whole thing, I would just add those 2 together. Turn the page. So again, look for rectangles and squares. You can break it up any way you want to. I'm going to go like that. This shape down here is the same shape, so again, go like that. So I have 2 rectangles. Well, again, the area of a rectangle is length times width. Alright, so I'm good to go. Over here, I'm going to write the steps. Step 1, split the figure up into separate shapes. Make sure they are shapes that you know how to find the area of. So these shapes should be a square, rectangle, parallelogram, or triangle. Step 2, calculate each shape's area. And step 3, add the areas together. So let's go through this. Step 1, split the figure into separate shapes. Well, I did that. 1 rectangle, here's another area. I'm going to label these area 1, area 2. Okay, so let's start with area 1. Length times width. Well, I know my width is 5. Okay, do I have a distinct length measurement? No. But I know that this over here, this side of area 2 is 4 meters, and this whole thing is 12. So what plus 4 equals 12? Well, 8 plus 4 equals 12. So this, the rest of area 1, 1 must be 8 meters. So the length of area 1 is 8. So the area of rectangle 1 is 8 times 5, that is 40. Do not forget your units, meters squared. Area 2, a little bit easier. We have a a length of 10 and a width of 4. Area 2, 10 times 4, which is 40 meters. And then we have step 3. We add our areas together. Oops, got to square that. So I have 40 plus 40. That is 80 meters squared. So this is my final answer. All right, turn the page. Again, we're going to look for rectangles and squares. So you can split it up any way you want, as long as you know how to find the area of those figures. So again, split it up here. My lines aren't perfectly straight. That's okay. That's area 1, area 2, and area 3. There. So I'm done with step 1. Step 2, find the area of all the different rectangles. Length times width, 12 times 4. We do not have units, so I'll add that on at the end. Area 1, 12 times 4, 48 units squared. Area 2, this is where we need to do a little bit of math. Do I have a width? I do. My width here, from here to here, is 3. My length, though, this. Well, I know this whole thing is 8. And I know this part is 4. So I need to think, well, 4 plus what equals 8? 4 plus 4 equals 8. So this must be 4. My length for area 2 is 4. So area 2 is 4 times 3, 12 units squared. And then last but not least, area 3. We have a length here of 8, a width here of 4. So area 3, 8 times 4 is 32 units squared. And then my final step, step 3, if you don't remember, go back to that page with the steps, is to add these units together. So I have 48 plus 12 plus 32. So I have 92 units squared for the entire figure. Okay, turn the page. Alright, so step 1, split it into different parts that you know of. So I'm going to go here and here. I will label these A1, A2, A3. Okay, step 2, find the area. I have a length and a width for area 1. So length of 5, width of 3. 5 times 3 is 15 feet squared. Guess what? Area 3, I noticed this right away, is the same exact dimensions, so I'm just going to copy those. Area 3 is also 15 feet squared. I need to find area 2. Okay, I know this whole length is 12. This is 3, and this is 3. So together, I need to take 6 away. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 away from 12. Okay, or I can think, well, 12 minus this 3 is 9, and then 9 minus this 3 is 6. So I'm left with a length of 6 feet. What is my width? Well, I know this is 3. Right? This is 3. And the whole thing is 5. So what is the difference between 5 and 3? 2. So my width is 2. So the area for that that rectangle is 6 times 2, which is 12 feet squared. And then the final step is to add them, 15, 15, and 12, which is 42 feet squared. Okay, last one before you are on your own. Step 1, split them up. Go like that. A1, A2. Step 1 is done. Step 2, find the area for rectangle 1. Divide the length. Not explicitly, so I need to find it. I know this whole thing is 13, but I just want this part. Okay? Over here, this length is 9. Okay, so 13 minus 9, what I would have left then would be 4. Okay, because this is 9 centimeters, and it needs to equal 13, so then this must be 4. My width here, well, I know this is 4, and this whole thing is 6. So what would the difference be? I need to add 2 to 4 to get me to 6. So width of 2. Area of rectangle 1, 4 times 2, which is 8 centimeters squared. Okay, area of rectangle 2. I have a length of 9 and a width of 6. So area 2, 9 times 6, 54 centimeters squared. Step 3, add them. 54 plus 8, 62 centimeters squared for the entire thing. Okay, you then have 3 problems to do on this packet. I will have some pages that I want you to do in the book after this on the whiteboard. If you see anything that has a trapezoid, you do not need to do it. A trapezoid looks like this. Okay, if you see anything in the book that look like this, you don't need to do it because those won't be on your test. I want you to try doing all of the other ones.